Hi, this is Prashant Gupta, faculty in accounts. Today I am going to start a topic consignment accounts. Consignment accounts. This is in CA foundation and useful for CA Inter also. Okay, now CA foundation point of view. Consignment accounts. First, one businessman in Hyderabad. He started one business having a very good profit. One businessman in Hyderabad earning good profits. Now he wants to expand his business to another place. Example, in Delhi. So Hyderabad businessman wants to expand his business at Delhi. So here question mark is that how to expand a business to Delhi. How to expand a business at Delhi? It means going for a branch. If you go for a branch, then you have to incur so many expenses, capital expenses you have to incur, like setting up of the business unit there. Example, for furniture you have to prepare, advance you have to prepare, you have to recruit the employees. Okay now, so and you have to take a go down. So these are the expenses you have to incur if you open the branch. Now the question is that if you are successful, okay, no problem. If you are not successful, then it will be a very cost effective. So that this option may not be a right option. So that is why we can prefer what you call as a agencyship. It means you appoint an agent there, and that agent will work for this owner. This agent will work for the owner. It means owner of the goods send goods to agent. Owner of the goods send goods to agent. And agent will sell goods as per the instructions of the businessman. So after sale of goods, sale proceeds will be transferred to whom? Businessman. Businessman get a profit. Okay na? And this agent will get a commission. So agent will get a commission, businessman get a profit. Now the relationship between this businessman and agent is called as consignment. The relationship between owner and agent is called as consignment, and owner is called as consigner. Owner is called as consigner, while this agent is called as consignee. Now relationship between consigner and consignee is called as consignment. Now if you go by the just name, consign means sent. Consign means sent. And whereas consignment means transfer of goods. Consignment means transfer of goods. So in consignment there are two parties, consigner, consignee. Consigner for profit, whereas consignee for commission. Now I will explain the total consignment in a what you call a summary form. Therefore you can understand better about the consignment. See, first, consignor. Consignor. Where is he? He is in Hyderabad. Consignor in Hyderabad. He transfer goods to consignee. He transfer goods to consignee. So consignee example in Delhi. Consignee is for example in Delhi. Okay, he is a agent. He is a owner. Now, first of all, the prerequisite to become a consignee is that it means to whom we have to select the consignee. See, we have to select the consignee that who is expert in this business, who is a genuine person, who having a good relationship with this local area. So that person we have to select, and already he having a business location, he already having a go down, he already having a employees. If you choose that kind of agent, need not to set up a business there, need not to take a go down, because already having a business, he already having a go down, and he already having employees. We have to pay just a share of showroom rent, we have to pay a share of go down rent, we have to pay a share of the employee's salary who is working for this consignor. Okay, now if for example we open a branch, we have to pay entire showroom expenses, entire go down expenses, and we have to pay total salary to the employee, though he is not full-fledged, is a what is class doing work business for our business. So that is why if you go for agencyship, if you go for a consignee, what is class consignee relationship, then he will already incurred that is showroom, then we pay portion of that, go down we will pay portion of that, and what is class employee salary we will pay a portion of that. So that this in this consignment we will expand a business at the same time with a lower cost. So that is the advantage of that. Now I means owner, transfer the goods to consignee. How I can transfer? I can transfer through any of the mode of transport. Okay, now see, availability transport from Hyderabad is that maybe air transport is possible, maybe a road transport is possible, or maybe a rail transport also possible. Now, for better understanding, I am taking for example, road transport. I am taking a road transport. So, goods are transferred from Hyderabad to Delhi. Okay, now, so here I send goods, owner send goods, owner send goods to whom? Transporter. He is a transporter. You can take any of the transporter, famous transporter. Okay, now I book the goods with the transporter. So this transporter will go to the Delhi. Okay, now he will inform to consignee that, sir, your transport is ready to delivery. So where should I unload the goods? Where should I unload the goods? Generally, consignee will have a go down at a different location, because in a Delhi, for example, if you take the Daryaganj is a famous place, very costly. So he will not take a go down at that place. For example, far from that place, example around 50 kilometers or 20 kilometers around that, he took a go down. So go down is far from the Delhi main place. Fine, getting. So go down is here. Now the transporter informed the consignee. Sir, goods has come. Please take the delivery of the goods. Okay, na? So this is actually will happen. Now when I transfer the goods, when I deliver the goods, first I deliver the goods to whom? Transporter. And at the same time, I send one pro forma invoice to consignee. Pro forma invoice. So when I book the goods with the transporter, and when I book the goods to the transporter, at the same time I send a pro forma invoice to consignee. What is the pro forma invoice? See, these are the goods I booked with the transporter. So I am sending those goods. See this receipt and you can check those goods. That is called pro forma invoice. It is different from our regular invoice. See, regular invoice is what? Regular invoice is given by the seller to buyer. But here consignee is not a buyer. He just take the delivery of the goods. He just possessor of the goods. He is not a buyer. He is not liable to pay amount to the consignor on receipt of the goods. Consignee is liable to pay only when he sell goods to the third party. When he sell the goods to the customer, then only liable to the consignor. It means consignment means it is only consignment means is only a delivery of the goods but not sale of goods. Okay na? Is only a delivery of the goods but not sale of goods. Now I send goods maybe at cost or maybe at a inflated price, that is called invoice price. I book the goods with the transporter. I will pay here some transportation expenses called consignor expenses. Consignor expenses. These expenses may be a packing expenses, weighing expenses, loading expenses, etc. We will discuss in detail later. Now first I am telling you the summary. So consignor book their goods with the transporter, incurring packing, weighing, loading expenses, and at the same time he send a pro forma invoice to the consignee. Next, consignee, if he is a new consignee to the consignor, before the goods reached, consignee has to send advance. If he is a new consignee, because I am giving goods to you, was the guarantee that you return money after sale of goods? So I don't know. You are a first time to me. That is why you are a first time to me. That is why I am sending these goods. I am sending these goods. So please you give me what you call some advance. This advance may be. See, maybe in the form of cash, maybe in the form of check, maybe in the form of bill. Okay na? So advance given by consignee. Generally it is taken from the new consignee. Okay na? Next point. So goods are delivered to transporter, transport deliver the goods to consignee, and transporter will call the consignee, sir, the goods has come, where should I drop these goods? Consignee generally request or pay additional amount to drop these goods in a godown. So here goods actually is to be dropped at this location, Delhi location. Okay na? Now on the additional charges, the goods are to be transferred to godown. Expenses from this transport area to transport spot, actually he has to drop here only. He has to drop the goods here only. But on additional charge, he will transfer the goods to consignee godown. Getting up? So expenses incurred from this transport point to consignee godown, in between some expenses are incurred. These expenses are incurred only once in the life of the goods, called non-recurring expenses. Non-recurring expenses. So okay, goods are received by the consignee in the godown. After the goods are loaded in the godown, consignee will sell the goods. So sales by consignee may be on cash or may be on credit as per the instructions of the consignor. As per the instructions of the consignor, consignee will sell goods either on cash or on credit to customers. after collection of the sale proceeds, collection of sale proceeds from customers, such money will be transferred to the consignor. So consignee will remit, transfer sale proceeds. Okay na? Now consignee will be given commission for this work. So consignee will be given commission. Now commission here, when we talk about the commission point, commission will be given to the consignee are of three types. They are depending upon the work he did. For example, consignee sold goods with an ordinary efforts. Then it is called as ordinary commission or general commission. If consignee sold goods with extra efforts, like when goods are sold by consignee on credit, generally what type of risk he has to face? That when we sell the goods on credit, collection is a big problem. See, today if I sell goods to customer on credit and tomorrow if I ask money, then he say that next day. If I go next day, you say that after 4 days. So there will be a big problem of the collection of credit sales, and there may be a chances of bad debts also. So first of all, there is a risk of collection of the credit sales, and second, there is a risk of bad debts. That is why consignee denied selling the goods on credit. See, if consignee deny the sale of goods on credit, then consignor will suffer, because maximum market is on credit basis. So to capture the total market, we have to sell the goods on cash and also on the credit basis. But he denied that one. That is why owner says that. That is why consignor says that no consignee, you sell goods on credit also. If you sell the goods on credit, I know the problems what you have to face. That is collection problem and maybe a bad debts. Don't worry. I will give you additional commission. You take this additional commission called as del creditor commission. You take this additional commission and you should take the responsibility of collecting the credit sales. If there is any bad debts, I am not concerned with that, because I am giving you additional commission. So it is your responsibility to collect the credit sales. So when there is a credit sales, commission given by the consignor to the consignee is called as del creditor commission. And there is another commission that is called overriding commission. What is overriding commission? See, overriding commission is nothing but, see, when I have to introduce a new product in the market, there is a big problem that I have to explain the features of the product. I have to explain about the producer of the product. I have to assure that this product is good quality and good working condition. So there are so many things I have to explain to the customer. Otherwise, customer will not ready to take the goods. He is going only for branded goods only. So what have to build a confidence in the minds of the customer that these goods are also very good goods, sir. You can take these goods. So then consignee has to make so many efforts to sell the goods. This is one reason what extra work he did. Next one reason is that when I want to sell at a higher price, the customer is not ready to take. So I have to explain more and more, sir. The product is priced this much because it having a very good features, sir. So it is though the product is new in the market, sir, but it having very good qualities. So you can buy this product, sir. You get this price. So I am making an effort, sir. Consignee is making efforts to sell goods at higher price. When he sell the goods at a higher price, he is giving more margin to the consignor. In return, consignor commission to the consignee is called as overriding commission. Okay, na? Right now, consignee, he took the commission. He incurred expenses, that is from the place of transport to his godown. He incurred expenses, that is they are called as non-recurring expenses. What type of expenses he incurred? See, here he incurred expenses, that is unloading into his own truck, packing expenses, insurance charges, octroi nothing but entry tax, nothing but toll gate, example like a, not like that, but entry tax. So he has to incur those expenses once only during the life of the goods only. After the goods are stored in the godown, he has to pay expenses. What? Godown rent he has to pay. Godown storekeeper will be there. He has to pay salary of the storekeeper. He has to pay the electricity charges. He has to pay the employees of the showroom salaries. He has to pay. He will incur advertisement expenses. Okay, na? He may incur packing expenses. So these are all recurring in nature. That is why they are called as recurring expenses. Okay, na? Recurring expenses. Non-recurring expenses, recurring expenses. These are the two expenses will be incurred by the consignee. Consignor incur only one expenses, that is non-recurring expenses. Now, goods are sold by consignee. He took commission. He incurred expenses. Now, what he has to do? Sir, these are my sales. These are my receipt of goods, and these are the goods are sold by me. And this is by my commission. These are my expenses. See, balance amount I am transferring to you. So he transferred the balance amount. Now, so he has to communicate all this information. Who? Consignee. Consignee has to communicate all this information to whom? Consignor. That document is called as account sales. So, account sales is a document given by consignee to consignor. Pro forma invoice given by whom? Pro forma invoice given by consignor to consignee. Account sales is given by whom? Given by consignee to consignor. This account sales shows expenses of consignee, sales by consignee on cash and credit, commission earned by the consignee, balance of stock. So these are all the details will be disclosed in the account sales. Based upon this account sales, consignor prepare 3 accounts. Consignor prepare 3 accounts. That is consignment account, consignee account, goods sent on consignment account. Okay, na? So I think what class fonts are very small. Just my habit is writing on the board, and you are not bothered about this one, because I will give you the complete this chart also to you. I will send this chart also. Don't bother about, because I am a habit of writing. I am habit of teaching through what class writing on the board. Okay, na? So if though they are not visible, don't bother about it. Next, so consignor prepare 3 accounts: consignment account, consignee account, and goods sent on consignment account. So these 3 accounts he prepared based upon what? Account sales only. Why consignor prepared consignment account? He prepared consignment account to know what is the profit. And he prepared consignee account. He prepared consignee account to know what is the balance due from the consignee. What is the amount to be received from the consignee. He prepared goods sent on consignment to know how much goods are transferred to consignee. Okay, now because n number of times he will transfer the goods. Here I just shown you only one delivery of the goods. in a period of 1 year, he sent so many times. So he wants to know how much goods are actually delivered to consignee. To know that goods entered on consignment account will be prepared. Now, consignee is not an individual. He is not an ordinary man. He is also a businessman. So, as the books or accounts are prepared by consignor, consignee also prepare books of accounts. Okay, now. But here, he prepare. Oh, that is one. Consignor account he will prepare. Consignee prepare consignor account. He prepare also general profit and loss account. General profit and loss account. He prepare general profit and loss account also. He prepare consignor account. Why consignee prepared consignor account? Because he wants to know how much amount is payable to the consignor. Okay, na? It is only just a theory I explained you. It's a short video, and next I give the notes for all these what class points. Though the font size are small, don't worry about it. I'll give you detailed notes in my next session. Thank you.